Laura Jane Nealon from Lixnaw is a mother of 3 boys, Dylan 4 and twins Alex and Evan, who are 14 months old. Evan was diagnosed with cystic fibrosis 4 months ago. Rita Ann Burke of Radio Kerry met up with Laura Jane and found out how she's getting on after hearing this news.
Evan's been sick ever since he was about a week and a half old. He was constantly getting sick. I was convinced he had asthma. I kept bringing him to my doctor saying, I think he has asthma. Sometimes I used to actually put him in the car seat because of his breathing, getting, standing over him, waiting to run in the cart into hospital with him. He frightened me so much. That went on for about 10 months. You can't diagnose asthma. So the doctor was saying, we'll just keep an eye on him because he is too young to be diagnosed for asthma at the moment. Then he had a checkup for his allergy for milk in the Tralee General, so that was at 10 months. So I brought him in and I told Dr. Can's side what the other symptoms that had come up, that he was eating twice his twin brother was, and he had a big swollen belly and you could see his ribs, and he was actually like an Ethiopian baby that you'd see on the television. And it was very frightening, and he was constantly sick. I'd say he only had a day, maybe 2 days of being like a normal well child, and then he was sick again, blocked up head and coughing and the breathing's wheezing and heaviness. And then Dr. Can said we'll test him for cystic fibrosis. We'll do a sweat test on him, and the sweat test is just a band that they put on the wrist. They make their glands sweat, so then they take that one off and then they put on another thing, and then that collects the sweat, and then the sweat then is sent off. But one of the other symptoms that Evan had was when I kissed him, he tasted of pure salt, and that's the main. If your child tastes of salt, you know that your child has cystic fibrosis. And I know both parents have to be carriers of the CF gene, and 1 in 19 people in Ireland are carriers. So if you think about it, if you think of a classroom, there could be 1 to 2 people in that classroom that are carriers of the gene. Wow. So yeah, it's very, very high in Ireland. Yeah. We're the highest CF sufferers in the world. Now with the heel prick, they've introduced the cystic fibrosis test. So every baby now that's born, start at the beginning of July, will be tested for cystic fibrosis, and 1 mother a week will be told her child has cystic fibrosis, and 2 mothers a week will be told that their child is a carrier. So that'll tell you how high it is. Yeah.
And Laura, would it have made any difference to you if you had the heel prick?
Yeah, the worry for the 10 months, I knew something was wrong with him. Everyone's saying that he was fine. It was myself and the health nurse were the ones that were saying, no, there is something going on. I rang her then after the meeting with Dr. Can, and when I mentioned the sweat test, then she knew that that's what he had, that he had the cystic fibrosis. So when he was tested positive, they sent him straight to Limerick. They put him on intensive antibiotics for 2 weeks because he had an infection in one of his lungs, and he had a chest infection as well. So they cleared that, and we got him home, and everyone that saw him when I got him home couldn't believe the difference in the child.
Really?
It was their first time seeing him without a runny nose or without the heavy breathing, and and he went on the medication straight away as well, and I noticed his nappies were reducing, and and he was putting on weight, so he's doing brilliant now. Wow. It's amazing. Once they found out what was wrong with him, what the medication's doing for him, it's a relief. It is. But
and how do you work all that in, having Alex and Dylan?
Yeah, it's very difficult, but it's all routine, really. Yeah, you have to go into routine. At the beginning, my day was just gone and the house was falling apart. So I just had to put a stop to try and entertain Alex a different way so I can do Evan's physio, but they've kind of adapted to it as well. It's kind of brought into the household that Evan has to have all this done, and they've I suppose they have adapted. That's the best way of saying it, and they know it has to be done, and it's to keep him well.
And you're trying to raise awareness.
Yeah,
I think you've done amazing. Like within a space of 4 months, you're dealing with where your little son is at, Evan.
Yeah.
Plus now also trying to highlight what this disease is all about. And you have a Facebook page.
Yeah, we have, yes. It was set up by David. He's an artist and he has cystic fibrosis as well. And I met him just a couple of days before we set up this event. David saw a thing on my wall on Facebook and it gave him the idea to paint the painting that he has painted. So he sent it to me and he said, "What do you think?" And I said, "It looks great." And he said, "Will you put up as your profile picture like mine?" And he asked a friend of his then to set up the event page. Then I got in contact with the Guinness Book of Records. We were all getting really excited and saying, "Oh, this thing could really work!" But we didn't expect it to get so big so quickly. It's just over 2 weeks now, and we have 21,000 people attending, and we're waiting on nearly 100,000 people to reply that have received the invitation and to the event on Facebook. There's a poster on the event page in the info as well that people can print out and post up wherever they live all over the world. I met a girl called Hayley Legler from New York through the event page, and she was asking me what else did I have in mind to make it aware. So I told her my idea that I was looking for someone to do a poster so we could put it up as a link so everyone around the world could print it out and put it up. And she said, "I'll give it a go." So I knew she was very young, so I asked her how old she was and she said she was 12. So it was like, wow. And she's very proud. I put her full name up. She's told me that a friend of hers, her little brother, has cystic fibrosis. I think we need to make it as aware as possible because it's hard and upsetting because, this is your country and it's the highest rate of cystic fibrosis in the world, Ireland, and the least life expectancy in the world because of the hospital facilities. Yeah, it's
not an easy thing to.
No, it's not. It's not.
As a little boy.
Yeah. The life expectancy in Ireland is 34. And they do still die at infant age. You try not to think about it. And when he's first diagnosed, they say, we're not going to go, thinking about how long he has to live. We're just going to see how we're going to keep him well. And, we'll talk about him trying to get up into adult years. And sorry.
It's hard to hear that.
Oh, it is. Any mother that, no mother wants to be told that their child is ill or that they have a life-threatening illness. And, when you are told, your whole world is turned upside down. It really is. And you just want the best for them. And you want them to grow up like normal child as well. So I do try my best to have a normal life for him. I let people call to the house, but I ask them when they're at the front door, how are they feeling? Because if they come in and they're ill, if they have a cough or a runny nose, and Evan would get it worse and he could end up on antibiotic or even worse, end up on intensive IVs. Yeah. But you can't build a wall around him, you can't lock him up. Otherwise he won't have a life, and what's the point in having this lovely little boy and not being able to share his life with other people and, having fun for himself, like kicking a ball or,
Fun with Alex and Dylan.
Yeah. Oh, they do have fun to do. And Dylan, even though he's 4, he's very understanding. You'd be very surprised about children. They are very understanding.
A penguin movie.
Is it on telly now?
Hello.
Say what your name is.
No, my name is just Dylan, and I'm 4.
Do you like having 2 baby brothers?
Yeah. And the baby brothers are called Alex and Evan.
Do you know which is which? Because they're twins, aren't they?
That's Alex. Where's Evan? Oh, yeah, Evan's inside it.
What has Evan got, Dylan?
The Cystic Fibrosis from a bad gene.
There you go. That's Laura Jane Nealon speaking to Rita Ann Burke from the Radio Kerry Foss School of Broadcasting. As you heard, along with dealing with devastating news about her son, she's decided to set about breaking a world record on Facebook. And with David Spillane, they've set up a Facebook page, Make Cystic Fibrosis Aware, by breaking a world record. So to help them break the world record, all you have to do is find the page on Facebook, click that you're attending, change your profile picture to their profile picture by the 31st of July 2011. when the numbers attending the event will finally be counted, and tell all your friends. And it's well worth doing, as you heard there. It's a very difficult thing to be dealing with, and to be faced with a decision as to whether you're going to worry about how long your son is going to live into adulthood, with the average life expectancy of 34, or else just trying to take each day as it comes. As Laura Jane said there, it's not an easy thing to do. If you have any thoughts for us on that, we'd love to hear from you. 0667 123 666, the number to call us on. Right now on Kerry Today, we'll take today's Community Diary.
The Community Diary, brought to you in association with...
Yeah, that's today's Community Diary with Sean Hurley. Just thinking back about that interview there with Laura Jane Nealon, about her son Evan, who's got cystic fibrosis, twins with Alex, and they're 14 months old. But we heard from Dylan at the end of the interview there. It's fairly remarkable, and one of the things she pointed out was that age that he's able to understand and able to deal with to an extent, I suppose, anyway, but also very considerate in relation to his younger brother. It's amazing how children do adapt in those situations. But like I said, if you want to help them out, Laura has decided to set about breaking that world record on Facebook with David Spillane. They've set up a Facebook page. This page is called Make Cystic Fibrosis Aware by Breaking a World Record. And to help them, click on the page on Facebook, click you're attending, change your profile picture to their profile picture by the 31st of July. And when the numbers attending the event will be finally counted, and tell all your friends as well to do likewise and help them break that world record on awareness